Welcome back to the His and Hers podcast, episode 57. It is a beautiful day here in Denver,
Why are you
Colorado.
lying?
It is now, though.
For like
Yeah.
15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it feels good to be home. We just got back from New York City,
Yes. Yep.
which
City that never sleeps.
we had a good time, man. We had such a good time in New York. We did a lot. We ate a lot of food. We got to go see a couple friends. We
actually have friends in New York, you guys.
yeah.
Okay, we're super cool like that.
actually, I'll
We're
be
very
happy.
social. Okay.
What were we saying? Actually, I got dinner with my friends tonight in New York.
Yeah.
I gotta
We're going to
make
go
it.
to the Apollo. We're going to go to dinner with our friends in New York.
Yeah, we went to the Apollo. We went and had like lunch on an old battleship or something.
Oh, yeah, that was super cool.
Cool view of was that the Hudson River? I don't remember.
Yes, the Hudson River, and you
don't know
could see
shit.
New Jersey on the other side.
You could. So whatever that is, I don't know. But yeah, we did a lot, man. And
Yeah, so it's been quite a journey, but welcome back, you guys, and happy Monday. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our 56th episode of the
57th.
I'm sorry, 57th episode of the His and Hers podcast.
Yep.
We would not be here without all of y'all's love and support. So
No,
thank you
thank
guys
you.
so much, and continue to share and just join us on our weekly podcast episodes. We love having you guys here. So like today we're going to be talking about traveling and like the difference between traveling with your significant other versus like with kids, and also like long-term traveling. David and I have been traveling together ever since we got together, obviously, but like the first 5 years we did not travel a whole lot because like we were broke as a joke.
Yeah.
The only
like,
the
we'd
only
be
times that we
working.
traveled was like when his parents would like take us places.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think we did we went to Miami one year.
We went to
That
Miami.
was before you were a YouTuber.
Yeah. Well, I was doing it.
Well, you
a
were
little
doing
bit,
it, but like, it wasn't like what it is now.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, but anytime we go on vacation, like we hardly ever have an itinerary, especially if it's just me and Nikki. Like we don't really have like a plan. Like we don't. And anytime we do try to like make a plan or like have an itinerary, then it feels like it never works out. So I think the thing we like to do is just go by ourselves with nobody else, and we could just get to operate on our own time in our own schedule. And that to me is like the time that we have the most fun. Is we try not to go to like cities as a tourist. Really, we just try to like get involved and like get ingrained in how people live their life on a day-to-day basis, and we try to like be a part of that to see what it's like to experience how people that live there experience that city. And so I think we got to do that in New York this time around.
So I actually vlogged this experience, and you guys can see it on my channel, shameless plug. But some people might be like anxious if they traveled with David and I just because of our lack of an itinerary or actual plans. Like we're very spontaneous in that way. We leave the place like, during the day, and we don't really have a plan on where we're going to go. We just kind of, I think the only plan that we had was, hey, we're going to go to our friend's coffee shop because they own their coffee shop out there. And then we're just going to like see what's around there and see where the day takes us. And that's exactly what we did. So we walked over to Harlem, which wasn't too far from where we were at. And we had coffee and we met with our friends. And then after that, we took off towards Central Park. And then from there, like, just picked up a bite to eat. We went to Times Square, but we didn't do anything, like touristy. Like David said, we got... well, I wanted some falafel on rice, but he was sold out. So we got like this chicken on a kebab.
Oh yeah, so
and
good.
they wrapped it in pita bread, and it was so good.
That
And we
chicken
took
was-
that, and they have like those stairs at Times Square. They're like red, and anybody can sit on them. And we went and sat on those stairs and just chowed down. Like we just had no shame.
I was definitely in some people's like proposal
100%.
pictures, just in the
100%.
stuff in my face.
Yeah, but like people were cheering, and
Yeah.
we were like, yas,
And-
yas.
And right before we went too, like we found a dispensary, so we were like,
Oh God.
we're gonna have a good time. So we went to a dispensary, got on a train, chilled in Central Park for a minute, then got on a train,
Oh, that was
and then
so
went
much
to
fun.
went down to Manhattan to Times Square.
Yeah,
we tried to go to Times Square twice actually. The first day we went, we didn't quite
we got
make
lost.
it. No, not even
We
that.
didn't get lost. We just didn't make it.
We just didn't make it because we got suckered into going to another stand-up show.
Suckered.
I was like, all right, I guess.
We went to like comedy shows like 2 out of the 3 nights that we were there.
Yeah, I don't. We're just walking down the street. And they're like, "You want to go to stand-up comedy show?"
They could tell that he was a comedian.
I was like, "Sure." The first one wasn't really like that good. The second one was really good.
So we went to Broadway comedy the first night. I thought that was pretty cool. Like the location was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool spot.
The comedians were pretty all right. Like I really enjoyed. There were 2 Mexican comedians, which was like
there was
really
one Mexican comedian, then one was Venezuelan.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Positive.
One of them was our waitress, which was so funny because she was like serving us our drinks, and then like the next second she's on stage doing her set, and we were like, okay. But I like that comedy spot because they have like a lot of memorabilia there from other comedians, obviously, but they also had like money and stuff from like the actual production of Coming to America, the movie. And so they had really cool memorabilia and like different comedians go in and out of there throughout the year. And then the second one was LOL Comedy. Now that place, first of all, hella sketch. I ain't even gonna lie. Like if y'all go there on the regs, no offense, I'm just saying the way that we got there was a little bit sketch. Yeah. Okay, so some guy Times Square was like,
I was like, oh, we're
y'all want to go to a
scammed.
comedy show? And we were like, you know what? How did you know? Then he follows us to the ATM because like he can't take $4 short than what he's asking. Yeah. And so he follows us to the ATM. We go there and like there's a whole ass, I don't know, like 11 of us in the audience. Bro, David was like fighting with me about where I was going to be sitting in the crowd. Okay. Because it was such a small room and he was like, don't sit there. And I was like, why?
Yeah,
like
I'm
getting comfy.
She's like, I want to be right.
It was literally in the back of the room.
The
My back was up against the back of the room. Okay. Yes, it wasn't. There was somebody behind us, or was there a wall?
It was a wall.
It was a wall. Okay, so I was in the back of the room. I was like next to a wall on the right hand side, and then David would be on my left. And David, it was like a straight shot from like the microphone. So David was like, "The comedians are gonna see you. They're gonna start hitting on you
every time. Like it never fails." And she's
you
like,
need to switch me seats
like,
now.
She's like, "Oh my god, you're overacting." I was like, "This happens every time." And like, here's the thing: they don't even like make a joke. Like it's never like just a joke. They're pretty much just like, "I want to fuck you." Like that's pretty much like what it gets down to.
How dare you?
That's pretty much like if they could say that they would, but like just like at least put a joke in it.
Okay, first of all, the first one you didn't even hear. Okay, I had to tell you about it.
I saw both.
You didn't.
I saw both.
You said that you didn't see or hear the first one.
Well, the first one, I was backstage.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. How the hell? What
still,
you talking about?
I was like, hey, man, what?
How would you be, hey, man, what, if you didn't even hear or see it?
Because I heard him say that, and I was like, oh, who's he talking to? Because I can't see the crowd. I can only see the TV.
So you were wondering who he was talking about, and then you were disappointed that it was me?
Yes. What do you mean, yes? Yes. It's not hard to figure out. Yes.
So we're sitting there, y'all.
I was like, he's just straight hitting on this chick. That's crazy.
It's like 5 minutes before the show, and we're bickering because he wants me to change seats, and I'm like, I'm tired.
I'm like,
I've been walking for miles and miles.
I'm like, I don't feel like fighting.
And like, there's a wall to the right hand side of me. I don't want to sit next to anybody. Just let me sit here.
Which, by the way, nobody sat next to me, so you would have been fine.
Well, I didn't know that at the time.
For the record,
I did not know that at the time. And anyways,
we could have just moved.
It was like freaking.
There's like
12 of us total.
Like
he talked to each and every one of us. So fast forward, okay, all the comedians come out. First of all, none of them hit on me. That's number one. Number two, what they did do is like, they introduced everybody, right? And I had my hoodie and I had it draped over my legs because, I was wearing shorts, but it got a little chilly at night.
Yeah, we learned our lesson from the night before because it was freezing.
It was kind of,
That's part of the reason why we went back because we're like, oh, shit, we forgot our hoodies.
Yeah, but in the day, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm sitting there minding my own business, okay? I got my little drink, and I got my hoodie just draped over my legs, right? And one of the comedians was like, oh, sweetheart, you cold? And I was like, yeah, I'm cold. And he was like, bro, like, warm her up. And what did David say?
I told her to bring a jacket.
So for the rest of the set, for the rest of the night, the MC was like, oh, and you ain't even got to worry about this guy. He don't even give a fuck about his wife. So David was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
I gave him some material.
The opposite happened.
As a comedian, I helped him out.
I wasn't hit on, but you were definitely the trope of the
that's fine
husband that don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'll take that on.
He played right into it. He was like, I was just gonna give him something to play with. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you know, that's me looking like I could have just been like, I did bring her jack. Like, I don't know.
It was worse for the guy that was like, it's worse. Please, I need y'all to stop doing this. If you are with your girl, I would say comfortably 3 years. 3 years and up, and you have not proposed, do not take her to a comedy club. I don't know what it is with y'all taking y'all's girls to the comedy club. When you know your ass ain't proposed, and it's been 3+ years, they're gonna say it. They're gonna tell the comedian, and the comedian's gonna get on your ass.
Because they're like, so how many years have you guys been together?
Yeah,
they're
always.
Like 7 years. Like, so you guys married, huh? They're like, no.
And the girl's like, no, I'm still waiting for my ring.
Yeah,
and like, don't use
like,
that moment, you know, because, you know, we're all petty like that. I would use that moment too.
Yeah.
And so there was a guy there that was getting fed up, bro. Like, he was getting so fed up because the comedian was like, and he don't even want to marry his girl. And he was like, so don't do that.
That guy was great, though.
Don't do that.
That was a great show.
It was
a small
a
crowd, but like, man, those comedians did such a good job.
Yeah, they did.
Like, working a small crowd like that.
And they were like, you know, we all
really
know
good.
that you guys got here under sketchy circumstances. And we were
"That's
like, yeah, for sure.
Putting it lightly, man. That is. I thought for sure. I was like, well, this is $50. I'm not getting back probably.
Man, but it was a really good. It was a really good trip.
Yeah.
It was, you know, when we were sitting in Times Square, I was like, damn. You know, when you're traveling with your partner, your significant other, your best friend, if you're not getting to a point in the trip where you're just like, this is like the best time ever, you're traveling with the wrong person. Because like we were sitting in Times Square, just like eating up our kebab, and it was so good, and just like people watching and making fun of people, and it was just so good. It was
Somebody got proposed to, and everybody like cheered and clapped.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if one day like a whole crowd was just like, boo.
Yeah,
like
right?
somebody getting proposed to, they're like, boo. Just a couple sucks.
Speaking of booing, so we wanted to mark off, you know, going to the Apollo off of our bucket list. I've been wanting to go since I was a kid. Because, you know, like when we were kids, they had the Apollo that still had like the executioner that had the whole cane and would pull you out by the neck. You know, it's very intense. But now, you know, they don't do that. But you could still boo. And it's like the only place where you can openly boo. So
yeah, but you're not allowed to boo the kids.
Yeah,
which
you can't boo the kids.
I did not agree with that.
David was like, God damn it!
I was like,
boo
if
these
it was
kids.
my kids, I would want you to boo. Like, don't give them something that's constructive. Don't just give them pity cheers. Like, and let them.
We're
know.
not all winners here.
Let them know.
We're not all gonna get trophies.
They're not there yet. They got work to do. Last thing I need is my kids thinking that like they got to figure it out because
they already think they know
little
everything.
assholes. So I'd be booing. I'd be like, boo. Like,
so it was a good time. So we met up with our friends and they were like, oh yeah, do you guys want to bite to eat beforehand? And we were like, yeah. But we didn't know that we were going to be going on to this. It was like a World War II. It might be a different era, but it was an old warship.
The Baylander.
It was an old warship, and these people bought it for hella cheap, and then they turned it into a bar and restaurant that just sits on the water always, and it is so nice. And it was like, so our friends showed us that, which was super cool. Then we went to the Apollo, and they give you these fans that on one side it says yes, and on the other side it says boo.
Which that sounded too sassy for me. I was like, I don't know if I can. If you just said yes.
I feel like anytime you say yes, you come off as yes.
Yeah, if you say yes.
Oh, speaking of yes, baby,
queen.
I can't even post one picture of you without every girl in the world being like, what eyelash set does David have on? Like, who is he going to? What mascara is he using? I'm like, girl, imagine waking up to that for 12 years, but they're not your own eyelashes. Like, you get to wake up to beautiful eyelashes, but they ain't yours. It is the most infuriating, disrespectful feeling in the world. But yes, my husband does have beautiful, luscious, long, annoying eyelashes. And no, he does not care for them. And yes, he does pull them off like all the time. And he, you know, he don't be taking care of them at all. And he don't even
like, what is proper eyelash care? I don't even know what that looks like.
Okay, maybe not having like eye mucus in them in the morning.
Well, I get those out.
Not always.
I can't help
it's
it.
definitely not first priority.
There's a lot that can get caught in there.
And then he gets like mad because like they turn on him literally, and then they go into his eye, and he's like sitting there with red eyes and like watery, fighting with them, and I'm like, oh, I thought you were
sometimes
cool.
there'll be like an eyelash that like bridges the top and the bottom eyelashes. Then it's just like I can just see it all day, and I'm just like trying to get it out, but it's like just wedged in there, and I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Do you guys feel bad for him?
It's annoying. Mm-hmm. It's painful.
This is so painful.
It is very painful.
You know what's painful?
What?
You know what's painful?
What?
Getting eyelash glue in your eye because you accidentally put too much on your eyelash band. It's painful to pull these shits off of your eye in the middle of the night. And even if you do get eyelash extensions, it can sometimes be painful and itchy with that too.
Oh, no. I never had that problem. You know who used to hate on me a lot for it? It was my mom.
Everybody.
My mom. She's probably like my number one hater. About my eyelash. She's like, this is fucking ridiculous. I was like, what do you want?
Well, yeah, babe. She was like battling cancer 3 times in her life. She has to look down at her son with the most luscious eyelashes, and she's like, I gave those to you. How dare you?
I was like, well, should have kept them.
Man, our kids have all of them. All of them have the longest eyelashes. Julian has long, thick eyelashes, and then Ezra has long, thick, curly eyelashes, and then Mila has really long, curly eyelashes as well.
Yeah, they all have.
They have really long eyelashes.
Yeah, I got lucky. Eyelashly.
Yeah. I still need to put a curler in Julian's eyelashes. His lashes are the ones like when he closes his eyes, they touch his cheek. You know what I'm saying?
They kind of like prop his eye open so his eye can't like close all the way.
So I really want to put a bend in it just to see. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to do that tonight and let you guys know. Yeah, I know he'll let me.
You know what I never understood is like why girls are always like, oh, you have these really long curly eyelashes. Let me put makeup on them. Yeah. Like, wouldn't you want to do that with dudes like with shorter eyelashes?
No.
Like, why? Well, I
want to see we want to see how far it can go. Like, it's already far, but like how much further?
I was like, I want to see
if
your
you
eyelashes
have
with
this naturally. I want to see how far it can go. Right?
I never understood.
Like some dude that got bald headed eyelashes. What fun is that gonna be? You're gonna have a little boom with some mascara. Okay, like but I want to see what your crazy,
which she has done to me, by the way.
Yes, I have, but I haven't done it recently, and I feel like I should.
You gotta re-up it.
Can I see if there's? Wait, can we do like a pause in the show for those of you guys that are watching on YouTube? But can I see if there's gonna be a difference in one eye versus the other if I curl one with the eyelash curler?
Yes, if you want to see.
I do want to see. Do y'all want to see?
Put mascara on me for like the 100th time.
I'm not gonna put mascara.
Or whatever. I don't fucking know. It's always something. An eyelash curler?
Eyelash curler.
How's that gonna do anything?
It curls your lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna do.
Which one? Do my right.
I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so sit still.
Do I gotta keep my eye open?
You just have to keep your eyes still.
I don't like this. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I can never wear contacts. I don't like that. I can feel it hitting.
Oh my God, look at me.
I can feel it touching my eyebrows.
Oh my God, and I didn't even crimp it all the way to the base. Hold on.
Right in my eye.
Babe, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. You do this every day?
Woo! Babe, let me see. The crazy thing is I don't see much of a difference.
So I did all that for nothing.
No, you just...
It's like medieval torture.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's like a torturing device.
Yeah, do y'all see a difference? There's literally no difference. I curl my eyelashes. It makes me look awake.
Awake?
Yeah.
So my eyelashes always make me look like my eyes are closed.
Dude, my lashes be trying to sleep when I'm awake. I gotta mention that.
But you have long eyelashes too. You act like you don't.
Maybe these are like.
Well, obviously, I know what you have on right now. I get that.
Yeah.
But like naturally, you have pretty long.
I have
eyelashes.
long eyelashes. I don't think they're too thick, but they're long.
They're pretty. I mean,
they wake up whenever they have mascara on them. Like when people put mascara on my eyelashes, they always go, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that your eyelashes were so long." And I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, they're there. They just need a little mascara. They need a little TLC."
She always gets jealous, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Mila has eyelashes like her dad." And she's like, and me too, and me.
I'm not bald headed. What you mean?
Yeah, I have eyelashes. It's like Yeah, Ezra acts just like
I
you.
feel like no other girl, like there's very few of us that can understand my plight in this life. If you have a man that has extra long, luxurious, curly eyelashes, it's just like everybody in your life will give all of the credit for how pretty your kids are to your husband because of his eyelashes. And I'm like, what am I, chopped liver?
I don't know. I mean,
Look at that baby picture of me. I got long, luscious eyelashes. I'm not bald-headed. I look like Mila.
you look like Ezra right there. To be straight up, like if Ezra was like colored.
I don't feel like people can identify that Ezra looks like me just because of the color of his skin.
Just fill in Ezra, and you got
Ezra.
And you have Nikki. Like, yeah, but Mila's really tiny, like you though.
I feel like Mila looks more like me than you would like to give her credit for.
Of course she does. I think Ezra is like your spitting image.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all let me know who looks more like me.
I think so.
Everybody's gonna be like Julian.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me that Julian looks like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when we go
weird.
out in public, they're like, "Oh my God, your son looks just like you," and I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah, that's weird because like you and his mom don't look anything alike.
I don't think we do.
Like nothing alike.
Well, we're both short. We're both short, and we're both Latina.
I guess.
Yeah. But you know, nobody would think that we were related.
No.
Oh, everybody right now is like sipping their tea, like, "Oh my God, he's talking about his baby mom."
I'm just saying they don't look alike. They look different. They don't have any.
We're on a spectrum, okay? Me and all of his exes, we're on a spectrum.
On a spectrum.
Yeah, we're on a
I've
spectrum.
never
We
heard
all
that.
look different. We all look different. And I've seen two of his exes, okay? And we look very different from each other, all of us. So I don't know if David really has like a type. I think his type is like everywhere.
It's
Is that why you got with me because I'm a mutt?
You just gotta kind of upgrade as you go on, you know.
Don't you hurt feelings on this podcast, David.
It's fine.
What else were we gonna talk about?
But yeah, no.
He even got my curly hair, girl.
Yeah, he does have curly hair. I don't know where you get
Yeah,
that from
he
because
has
my
really
hair is straight
curly
as
hair.
shit. My hair's
Yeah.
straight. I don't think. I mean, I've never grown it out as long as Julian's is, but
Baby, there ain't no growing out that can make you have hair like his, and not an ounce.
no, my hair.
I'm so sorry.
My hair is so straight.
He's got to have it somewhere down his bloodline because he's got some pretty hair.
Yeah.
His hair really does look like mine.
Yeah. It
Like
does.
when he left the house today, I was like,
Yeah, like
is that my
it's-
hair?
it's actually crazy. At first, I was like, "Are you getting like a perm?"
Yeah, we were accusing him of getting
Yeah, I was
perms
like, "I don't know, man."
when he wasn't here.
I was like, "I think he might be getting a perm." He might still be. I don't know.
He's not getting no perm. He just has real pretty hair.
No, he does.
But his mom has real pretty thick hair. So, David, stop being messy and petty. Stop it.
I'm just kidding. I'm J. King, of course. God. No, it's not like my hair though. So I don't know. Because like, I don't think none of my kids got my hair, which is probably for the
Well,
best.
none of my kids got my hair.
But none of my kids have hair like that.
Yeah, well, I think it skips a generation. Our son Ezra has his dad's hair, and then our daughter has his mom's hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically. So I think my grandkids should have like a semblance of my hair because I have my great grandma's hair. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, you got real pretty hair.
I have like definitely her hair.
That's real pretty.
Oh, thanks.
Nikki or Mila's hair is kind of like yours a little bit.
She definitely has a curl
It's
to
like
it
very
because of me.
curly. Like at the bottom is very curly.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's like
She
my
has
mom's
finer hair.
texture.
Yeah.
So it's just like super bouncy.
Yeah. It's very airy.
Do you think you look more like who in your family do you think you look like?
That ain't fair, and you and I both know it. Not a person. Who have you seen in my family that I look like? Name one of them.
Nobody.
I'll take none
Nah.
for zero, Alex.
At least I got a couple people.
Yeah. No, you know what? You look like your mom.
Yeah.
You look like your dad.
Yeah.
You look like Aaron somehow. and
yeah.
you look like your uncle. Like, you literally look like everybody that you're related to.
I do. I'm like one of those dogs where like you just kind of look like your owner.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Except I'm the dog. Like
You kind of just resemble them a lot. Like, it makes sense. But when it got to the point where my in-laws, like, you know, they had just like seen my mom, you know, when we first met. And one day my mother-in-law came to me and she was like, I just need to see a photo of your father. Just so this all makes sense. And I was like, okay. So I showed her a picture of my dad and she was like, it still doesn't make sense. And I was like, I know. I thought I was adopted for the longest time. I don't look like anybody. And like my brother, he looks just like my mom. Like they're twins. Like he rolled up next to me the other day in his truck and rolled down his window. He had glasses on and I swear it was my mom. Like I was like, and even like Julian was like, oh my God, he looks like grandma. And I was like, imagine living in the house with them when you look this different. They look like literally like twins. It's crazy.
Then there's you. And
then there's me. It's just been that way. And I don't look like my grandma. Like I don't look like I'm all Cinderella up in that bitch. Yeah. No, but my tia is like real light complected blue eyes. And like my other tia, I don't look like her. We're just like we don't really resemble each other. We're very mixed.
Yeah, there's not a lot of continuity there.
No, not at all. And then, like, people will find my cousins, like, on social media, and they're like, oh, my God, this is your cousin? And I'm like, yeah. Like, actually, we're blood cousins, yes.
That makes sense.
I'm very diverse.
Because, like, I don't really look like any of my cousins.
Why are you lying?
What cousin do I look like?
I feel like you and Drake look like you're related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably because Drake looks like my dad somehow.
You know, yeah, well, he's
like my dad's twin, which is kind of weird.
There's some things about Ezra that reminds me of my brother. Like the Theo thing, like Theo genes really do translate over to your kids sometimes.
I feel bad for my sisters.
Because like you...
they're like, they're going to hate their kids. Like, God damn it.
Because you look like your Uncle Chris.
Yeah, I do.
You know?
I could look like my Uncle Jake, too. Depends. Not like that.
Oh.
Not like that. Just saying, there's some similarities.
Like
but
what?
not like that.
No, okay. No, we were talking about this with our friends, our homies over in New York, because, you know, his uncle's boyfriend used to work at Trax here in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
And Trax is a gay nightclub, and it's so much fun. And that's where me and my girls preferred to go to all the time during our girls' night so that we wouldn't be bothered, okay? They have the best drinks, the best music, the best everything. So we would go there all the time. But the first time that I went there was with David. And I had to fight off some dude because he was like hitting on David. And I was like, hey, you better back up, bitch.
I was like, yeah, I like it. I bet you won't want me sitting in the front row and right in line with
I wasn't
gay
the front. It was literally the back row.
See?
It was
imagine if I was in the front row. Like, just like you were. Like, you were in the front row. There's nobody in front of you.
You harlot.
I was blinking. Trollop. That wasn't fluttering.
You would flutter through our entire life. Just flutter your way through.
Just blinking. I'm tired. I don't.
So we go this one night, and his uncle's boyfriend is at the bar. And so we're getting like free drinks, discounted drinks, whatever. And it's our first time. And so I'm like, hey, can I get whatever you recommend? He's like, yeah, girl, I got you. So he makes this really beautiful, amazing fruity drink for me. And it's so good and so yummy.
Fruity as in it was like full of fruits, not.
Thank you for clarifying.
That's not what she's saying.
Thank you for clarifying.
It was just fruit.
No, but I think it was like strawberry. The only reason why I remember that is because fast forward however many minutes, and I was on the curb just throwing up my whole life. And I think it tasted like strawberry, so I wasn't too mad at it. But they were like closing down the club, and here comes his uncle and his uncle's boyfriend just gallivanting out of the club, and they see me just hunched over on the curb, and his uncle and his uncle's boyfriend were like, oh my God, Nikki, you didn't know that the drinks here are like twice as strong as the normal ones? Oh, you silly goose. And I'm like, what the fuck, you guys? I was like cussing them up one down the other. I was like, how could y'all? So
I'm surprised I'm surprised you even remember that much.
It was like 3/4 of a cup of like straight alcohol, and then the rest of it was like some fruit juice.
Yeah.
And I was like, how dare you? How dare you do this to me?
He still makes him that way.
Oh, yeah. And like now he's like family. So like whenever we hang out at like family functions,
I'm glad you kept this one around.
Yeah, we voted this one in. We all had to be voted in. All of us. We all had to go through some shit.
It's very rigorous.
Yes, it's rigorous training, obstacle courses, drinking games. You got to really show that you got the grit.
Not for the faint of heart.
No, not at all. And especially in like in Wyoming, you're like in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Dealing with your emotions.
It's like we either got to fit in here. I still got to go through it. It's like we either got to fit in here or maybe be subject to a hate crime. So stakes are pretty high.
You know, so don't fuck it up. Yeah. But y'all let us know down below. I felt like there were certain things I had to prove that I could hang when it came to like drinking, because you know they have like a lot of drinking games, a lot of beer pong, and like a lot of shots being taken at their cabin. Like you really had to show that you could hang with the big dogs, that you can help, you know, that you're of use like during the daylight hours, and that you know, like also that you can handle your liquor. Not only can you drink, but you're not gonna be fighting or like falling.
It's almost like they're trying to figure out like who's gonna be useful and fun in the apocalypse if it happens.
They're
you know,
trying to weed everybody out that can't be both. They don't want one or the other.
Like, can you vacuum and make jokes?
Yes.
You know, things like that.
Can you vacuum and make drinks?
Or even better, if you can do that.
Yes. Oh, there's a FaceTime.
That's even more valuable.
Yes.
Then if you could do those things or be a triple threat.
It was kind of fun.
Like Jared, like Uncle's boyfriend, he could do all three.
Oh, yeah. You know, I had my work cut out. We were in competition for a long time. No, I was kidding.
I think he probably wins that one.
Oh, he did.
He's like a way better bartender.
100%.
Because like you like, especially like you just pour shots. There's no like.
Oh yeah, no.
There's no like mixology going on. Yeah, there's
no chemistry or any mixing of anything.
Yeah, if we're gonna make drinks, we're just.
You can have a chaser if you're, you know, a little.
Best we could do is Sprite and vodka.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll give you maybe like a fruit juice, like a little pickleback. But other than that, but hey, I wouldn't want to travel with anybody else on this earth. Straight up, like it is the funnest thing. Just have fun when you travel. I think, you know, people always ask us, this is why I always make it a point, because anytime we open up like our questions portion on our social media or whatever, we're like, ask us anything. People are like, relationship advice. Can you give us advice?
No, one person straight up was like, advice? I was like, on what?
So
it's very vague. I don't know.
One thing I will say is if you absolutely hate traveling with this person, that is a red neon flag.
I don't even know how you would survive that.
Bro, please. Life is too short.
Like, I'm just lucky that somebody else just doesn't really care.
You know, and typically it would be like polar opposites being together, where like I would be the one being like super like itinerary focused. Yeah. But I'm glad that we're both about as. I think you're a lot more chill than I am. But I'm still chill, but I like a level of spontaneity, so I don't like planning everything out to a T.
Yeah.
I like having an idea.
An idea, yeah.
Like just an idea, like a feel, like give me the area. And then we can do that. But like
unless it's like a special occasion or something.
My brother, my family that we've always traveled together, they are like the type that itinerary, like every hour of the day we know where we're gonna be at. And sometimes it could just be a little much.
It's like first of all, I don't want to make a guarantee on when I'm gonna wake up on any day.
Right.
Like
it was hard to even get you to wake up the day that we were leaving. I was like, we got a plane to catch, homie.
I didn't want to wake up. I was like,
he did not. He was like, I have an alarm set.
Yeah. It was like 5 minutes too. I was like, you can't just let me enjoy the last 5 minutes.
You were tossing and turning the whole time anyway. You weren't even. That's what I don't understand.
It's my process.
Why sleep in if you're not even going to enjoy the sleeping in? Like you're tossing and turning.
Because sometimes it's like I want to enjoy it, so I'm just.
But you're not. Obviously not. You're not enjoying it.
So I'm trying to make. I have to enjoy it. I got to make myself enjoy it. Nothing worse. I mean, there's some things that are worse, but like. There's nothing worse, dramatically speaking, than waking up early on a day that you could sleep in.
Yeah.
That will ruin
Are you
my
sure
day.
about that, though? Because, like, I feel like the day that
day.
you could sleep in, but you could also use that time for, like, better things, more productive things. Okay.
I don't care about that.
Good talk.
I'm tired because I'm productive all the time.
Good.
I just want to sleep a little bit more. I'm a heavy sleeper. as I've noted before. And I enjoyed these past couple days because I was for real sleeping in. We didn't wake up until like noon. Which,
Yeah, well, that had a lot to do with the time change. Okay.
yeah, which going to the East Coast is always funny because our sleep schedule is just
So off.
we just stay on our home schedule.
But like we feel so cool because we're like staying up super late.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, we can hang with the young folks.
Like you get it's barely 1 o'clock in the morning. You guys are going to bed. Meanwhile, at home it's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Get these kids to bed. Like it's still early. I'm like, I don't give a
Bro,
fuck.
we got
I'm tired of
back
looking
to
at
our
'em.
hotel like at like 1 a.m. I was like, oh, hey, high five. We
We
stayed
did it.
out. That's great.
Did it. Then we watched some TV. Then we went to bed.
Love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, we'd watch that. We get some
Yeah,
snacks.
so good.
Because
Like,
our
that's our
place
favorite
is right
thing
next to a
do.
7-Eleven too.
It was literally on top of a 7-Eleven. How
So we're
perfect
like,
is that? And then it was a block away from Starbucks,
Yep.
a block away from Sephora, a block away from Target. Like
Yeah.
it was so
Got it
good.
all right there. Everything.
And also across the street from the projects. So, you
Yeah.
know, we got to have best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we had to get directions back to our place, and the directions tried to take us around the projects. And I was like, no, let's walk through the projects. That's fine.
Sure.
And we
Yeah.
walked through the projects. You know?
I was like, why did your directions take us through the projects? My directions didn't take us through there.
I was like, my directions don't discriminate. It
My
said this is the
direction-
fastest way.
They're like, this route has tolls and projects. And I was like, I'd rather not deal with the tolls.
Our driver, when we were driving into New York, he was so cute. Like as soon as he drove over the bridge,
You
like
mean he
the
was
toll
cute? What
bridge.
you talk about?
No, he was cute in the way that like he put on the New York song, and he was like, I have to put on this song every time I drive my clients through here. And the New York, the Broadway song, and it was like the whole
Isn't that
skyline.
Frank Sinatra? Isn't that Frank Sinatra?
I think so. And so then we passed by the projects, and he goes, this area right here is what we like to call the projects. And we were like,
I was like, yeah, I could tell. Those look like any projects I've ever seen in my life.
yes, sir. Yes.
I don't know how
I
creative.
recognize.
I don't know how creative you think they get on project buildings outside of New York.
This is
But
what we like to call the
there's
project.
there's not a lot of creative architecture designs going into projects in any other cities. Yep, red bricks, buildings up. There you go.
Man, but you know what I love about New York is that you can pass by anybody and like hear a different language. And our friends were telling us, you know, like
Yeah.
every household speaks at least minimum 2 languages, but I mean upwards of 4 and 5. So like everybody in New York is just so diverse, and there's so many different cultures and backgrounds. It was really, really cool. Those of you guys that are from New York, much respect. I love everything that I saw, witnessed, ate, you know, everything over there. So
New York's crazy too because that was the first time that I ever seen a dog get catcalled. Like that was interesting.
it was very intense. This dog really had
Like we were walking my friend's dog. My friend, he's like, we got a dog. We'll go walk our dog, and then because we got to walk past right by Central Park, and we'll walk our dog, and then we'll walk you guys back to your place. And we're like, cool. So I was walking this dog. It's a good looking dog, and
such a cute dog.
and we're walking the dog, and this guy's like, hey yo, what's your dog's name? Yo, is that your dog? Yo, dog, turn around. I was like, this guy's really aggressive. He's like, yo, that dog was good look. That dog, I want to fuck that dog. I was like,
Our friend James, he's like walking
Yeah,
his dog.
he's
He's
like,
like,
"Keep
whatever,
walking."
just ignore him. And I was like,
does
does your
that-
dog get catcalled
I
all
was
the
like,
time?
does that happen a lot, dude? Is that guy trying to fuck your dog? Like, I got uncomfortable for the dog. Even the dog was like, oh, Jesus. You have to get that dog a rape whistle. Like,
Yeah. He tells our friends that. Our friends just like awkwardly laugh. And I was like, don't mind him.
it's like, oh no. I was like, man, this is crazy out here. Like, that guy's just out on the streets at night, just fucking harassing people's pets.
Hey, look at me, dog.
Yeah. Yo, is that your
Look at
iguana?
me square off in the eyes.
Yo, I fucked an iguana before. I was like, oh my God.
He went and give me that eye contact,
Yeah.
dog.
Yo, is that your pet monkey?
It was so funny. And then, okay, so we have this long night. We go on this boat, we eat, we walk. And keep in mind, every place that we're walking, this is New York. walking. Okay, this is not a few blocks; it's a few miles in between places. So we're getting our steps in and whatnot. So we have this whole day going to the boat to the Apollo, from the Apollo to their place, from their place through Central Park and to our place. Right? We get to our place. Why is David over here trying to be like, oh, so what y'all trying to do? What y'all trying to do? Like trying to insinuate like y'all gonna come up, like, have a chill time in our apartment. And I was like, they're tired. We're tired. Like, what you mean? I was like, hey, it's been nice to see y'all. Thank you guys so much. Because like they were clearly very exhausted.
Mostly
and
I
David
was
over
like,
here was like, for real, like, so what y'all trying to do?
Mostly I was like, you guys gotta check out this view. Like that was pretty much my thought process. Like, you gotta check out this view. It's crazy.
Should we have invited them up?
Nah, I think they were ready.
I felt like they were so tired.
I think everybody was ready to go home. So when nobody heard me say that, I was like, whew.
Yeah, I felt like the vibe was saying like everybody was so tired.
But to be
we're
fair,
older.
it was like a weeknight for them.
Yeah, it was a fucking Wednesday. Like,
yeah,
it was a Wednesday.
I was like, you guys trying to go down to Times Square?
Yeah.
I really want another chicken kebab. Like,
but I will say, I like traveling with you
vacation.
because I can put my entire trust into y'all. Okay, so like David said, little R-rated, I guess, depending. But we did stop at a dispensary while we were over there. It's legal. And so this girl was helping us out. And first of all, she introduced this, it's like a syrup. Okay. And she was like, hey, we got this syrup and you pour it into your drink. And we were like, what? And she was like, yeah. And then she gave us some gummies and she was like, and since y'all are leaving in a few days, no big deal. Just take them out the package, put them in a Ziploc. They won't know the difference. And I was like, you telling us to fly with Shmi?
I was like, ma'am, are you telling us how to smuggle drugs to the airport? We're from Denver, okay?
We're pros. Who you think you talking to?
You think this is our first rodeo?
We didn't do that.
So I was laughing, like, whenever we go to another state and, like, they just got, like, legalized marijuana, you know? We go to the dispensary and they're, like, trying to walk us through. I'm like, been doing this for years.
You're all hoity-toity.
Yeah. Like,
looking through this.
Like, save it.
But that was some crazy
Then they're like,
shit.
oh, you guys are from Denver. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to waste your time.
Yeah, they look at our license. They're like, oh, y'all know what y'all are doing. And we're like, yeah, back up. Back up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, save it. Like,
save it? Damn.
It's like trying to tell me how to eat spaghetti for them. I'm like, I got it. Okay. I've been doing this since I was.
It's like telling me how to ride a bike.
I've been doing this since I was a baby. All right.
So, okay. So she gives us this bottle, right? We go into Times Square. We're like sitting there minding our own business. You know what we were arguing about? We were debating whether or not living on the West Coast versus living on the East Coast was better. And we were having a hella serious debate. Okay. And I was like, David, you're not going to, and specifically San Diego versus New York. And I was like, you're telling me that it would be better to live in San Diego.
Probably.
I've never even been to San Diego, but I refuse to believe that there are more opportunities in San Diego than there are in New York.
Yeah, first of all,
it's New York. It's like, that's the place where everybody goes to make their dreams come true. And like, not just like one dream, not like just modeling and photography. I'm talking about everything in every which way that you could possibly imagine. You could do it in New York. I mean, our best friend, well, not our best friends, but our friends went over there 8 years ago to open up their own coffee shop. Why? How come they didn't do that in Denver? How come they didn't do that where they were from? They went to New York to go do that.
And they could have.
And so we were having, y'all, so if y'all were like passing by in Central Park and just saw like a couple just having this heated ass debate about San Diego versus New York, that was us.
I was team West Coast. Nikki was team fuck Tupac. That's basically just
how dare you lie on my name like that? That was the only one that I said. I said in that regard, I would never, but like in the academic regard, even our friends were like, hey, New York offers, a lot more opportunities as far as academics are concerned and a more affordable price. And like they talked about like Metro over here in Denver, just like being a whole ass scam. And I was like, what? Yeah. And like they were telling us like even just like regular schooling after high school is just so much more attainable. And I was like, yes.
But also palm trees, no palm trees. Easy choice. Easy choice. I don't want to deal with the snow anymore. I don't want to deal with it. If I'm going to move, I want to live somewhere where it's warm
with earthquakes
and nice and things to do.
And hurricanes.
New York is sinking.
So is
It's
California.
literally the Titanic.
So is California.
Yeah, but it's more like a yacht, okay? At the moment.
I'm sorry to laugh at y'all's pain. I do apologize.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody is safe.
Yeah, hope you guys find
We
nice
really
boats,
do. We
for
mean
sure.
that from the bottom of our heart.
Yeah.
We're just making jokes.
Our home
so
our
sorry.
home is open to you guys. If
Yes.
that happens.
You guys can come over here and come to the
Yeah.
dispensaries if you need anything.
Whatever you guys need.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Burritos. The
burritos,
burrito was
burritos.
invented here,
We
which
got a lot of
our
burritos,
driver
man.
thought was hilarious. He was like, "Oh yeah, you guys invented Chipotle." We were like, "Yeah, Chipotle, Qdoba,
Like,
any other
well,
burrito."
Chipotle didn't invent the burrito. They stole it from some Mexicans in Denver. But
Did they really? I heard that burritos aren't really prevalent in Mexico. Is that the truth?
I don't think burritos are.
I don't even think that's not
Mexican.
even a thing.
I think it's more of like because like a lot of the Mexican food, especially like in New Mexico and like
Yeah.
Colorado, is more like Native American themed than it is like Mexican themed. If that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it. Like the whole hatch chilies, and
Well, if you don't know how to explain it, maybe you shouldn't explain it
you
at
know
all.
that's the best way that I can explain it.
Well, maybe we should ask somebody else.
It's like more. There's a lot more. I don't know, like corn. I don't know how to explain it. I just know it. Okay, in my heart, I just know it by.
Maybe our people
by
specialize in corn.
You know
What you
I'm saying?
talking
I'm just
about?
like, but it's more corny up here. That's all I'm trying to say.
We can all agree on that.
It's more corny in Denver and New Mexico. Okay, like it's a lot more corn.
But if y'all didn't know that, like Chipotle and everything was invented here, like the first Chipotle ever, the first
Yeah.
Qdoba ever. So restaurants like that
We
originated
do
here.
burritos pretty well.
Yes, they do. And you know what? They do a lot
Yeah.
of smothered action.
Don't get me hungry.
But yeah, we had a really good time in New York.
Yeah.
Thank you guys all for your suggestions and your
Yes,
recommendations.
thank
A
you.
lot of you guys are from there or travel there a lot.
Of course,
so
we ate
thank
some
you guys so
pizza
much.
as well.
Oh yeah, just like randomly
Yeah, we.
and like 2 days in a row, we had pizza.
We had it twice in one day.
Did we have it twice in one day?
Yeah, because we
Oh
had
yeah,
the pizza.
I forgot. After the train, you just like randomly stopped at this pizza spot.
Yeah, so we had pizza. Then we went to Manhattan, and we had the turkey kebab
It was a chicken.
or the chicken kebab, and then we went to the comedy show. Then after the comedy show, we got more pizza.
Y'all, like, you know how
Yeah.
everything is so close together? You know, we're like walking or whatever, and David's closest to the buildings. And I swear this man just like dipped and just like took me into this random building, just dipped and was like, ooh, pizza. And like
Yeah.
just into a random small spot. So good.
I don't know how I found
So
it.
good.
It was really good.
No
though.
regrets.
They were good.
So good.
Yeah, New York has good food. I don't think I've
So
ever had
good.
bad food anywhere. that
Well,
I've
like
ever
we were
went
like,
to.
oh yeah, I don't think we could find bad food if we wanted to. And our friends were like, no, there's bad food here.
Yeah,
and
they're
I
like,
was like,
"No, it's out
what?
there."
But
Yeah, I believe it, but statistically,
we did see a lot of rats. I saw like 3 or 4.
you know what? I think I did see rats, but in my mind, I just wrote them off as like cats.
They were big as hell.
So I was probably like,
They're big as
I
hell.
was like, oh, that was a cat. And you guys like, did you see that rat? I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's a rat.
No, but I saw that cat. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And then you know, we had to get a little creative because we both had to pee at the most inopportune time, and we couldn't find a bathroom in the subway, so we just had to kind of make do. You'll never know when, where, or how.
Okay, don't say make do like that. It just makes it seem like we just did something crazy. We had to go to a mall. Remember that? We had to find a mall. That's why we got
No,
off the
no, no.
subway
I'm
early.
talking about the other time.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's no like R. Kelly stuff or anything like that.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not like anything like that. But we did what we had to do.
It was ethical.
So also make sure that the person that you're traveling with isn't too judgy.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
know,
if you go to New York,
If you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to
if you
do.
go to New York, you better not have to pee ever. Like I
You
guess,
cannot have to pee ever in life while you're
Like,
over there.
dude, you got to make sure you go pee and don't drink anything like 2 hours
Yeah,
before
you
you
need to
leave
be
your house.
dehydrated.
Cause goddamn,
You got to dry out in the sun, bitch. Like, don't
There's no
even
bathrooms.
try to
There-
ask for a
everybody's like,
bathroom. There's
no.
not. No. The answer is no.
you're like, all right.
Immediately. Even our friends, like at the coffee shop, I was like, hey, can I use your bathroom? He was like, well, it's not typically. And I was like, James.
Yeah,
They let me into the bathroom.
yeah. Don't. I was about to have a big daddy situation. It's gonna pee on the side of your building.
So, you know, traveling is all about fun, spontaneity, and no judgment.
Yeah, no judgment.
But thank you to our friends at James and Madison for showing us around New York and going with us to the Apollo. We really enjoyed ourselves. But thank y'all so much for joining us this fine Monday. Let us know your comments down below and your thoughts. But we'll see you guys soon to start off your week right next Monday for episode 58 of the His and Hers podcast. And you can also listen to us anywhere that you love to hear your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course YouTube for the visuals. But of course, you guys can follow us on our social media at HISxHERS pod across Instagram and Twitter for some behind the scenes. And then definitely check out my channel because I got vlogs and stuff.
The HISxHERS pod. Sorry, don't forget the.
Yes, we are the ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number one. You can follow me on everything at David Cisneros.
And you can follow me on everything at Nikki Glamour. So.
Oh, did you? You're just Nikki Glamour now?
It'll show up regardless. You can cut this out, but it'll show up.
I'm proud of you.
I love y'all so much, and we'll see you guys in our next episode. Peace out.